Hi, it's me, Heidi Heilig, your resident book wrecker and revolutionary. So, as some of you know, I was raised on musical theater. Jazz hands! And my childhood was bracketed by two musicals, Les Miserables and Rent. And as problematic as these shows are, they left me with the spirit of a revolutionary and a deep distrust of the upper class. And as they say, a worker must have bread and roses and books. I think that's the saying. So I'm here today with 5 books to read while preparing for the revolution. Or 6 rather, because my first recommendation is so obvious that it doesn't really need me to say anything, but leaving it off the list would be its own special kind of revolting. So, first book, The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. Yes, the original Black Lives Matter YA novel, top of the New York Times list for 2 years now. Read it, love it, throw it at the bourgeoisie. That's The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. You know it already. Right there. On to a book no less vital. Anger is a Gift by Oshiro. This book is about Moss, a sweet, nerdy gay boy who suffers from debilitating panic attacks ever since his father was killed by the Oakland PD. Now, Moss is in high school with an adorable group of friends and a sweet, loving mom, and this idyllic life is juxtaposed against a system that treats teenage kids like criminals. Now, I saw Oshiro speak about this book once, and he mentioned that his first concept of the book was as a dystopian YA thriller, but that in edits it became just a contemporary. All the violence, all the tactics, all the devices, those are all from real life. This is a story about community, bravery, and the power of rage. That's Anger is a Gift by Oshiro. Next up, get ready for Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. Jane McKean was born in an alternate history United States of America where the dead of Gettysburg rose up as zombies. As a black girl, she's required to train at a special combat school where she can learn to slay the undead. Now, as a student in the prestigious Miss Preston School of Combat in Baltimore, Jane is given the education necessary to become an attendant. That's like a lady-in-waiting / bodyguard to the white, rich, wealthy young ladies of the city. So Jane's future looks relatively bright until the wealthy families of Baltimore start disappearing. Is it the undead, or is it something even worse? Despite her better judgment, Jane goes looking for answers and is pulled into a conspiracy of power, politics, and some truly frightening homesteaders. This book is pulpy zombie entertainment and biting political commentary all in one. That's Dread Nation by Justina Ireland. All right, this next book felt at times a little too real. I have for you Want by Cindy Pon. Set in a near-future version of Taipei, plagued with disease and pollution, Zhu is just trying to survive in a world where the poor live to the ripe old age of 40, and the rich live in literal bubbles. They have special suits that filter the pollution and the sickness out of the air. But when his friend's mother is murdered for speaking out against the divide between the haves and the have-nots, Zhu and his friends decide to burst those bubbles by destroying the company that makes the suits. The book starts off with a kidnapping and only gets more thrilling and heisty from there. Is that a word? Heisty? It is now that I've read Want by Cindy Pon. Next up, for a little bit of a Marie Antoinette let them eat books feeling, Enchantée by Guida Trellis. When smallpox orphans the Durbon siblings, Camille has to rely on La Magique Ordinaire to provide for her younger sister and to keep her older brother out of trouble. But when her brother runs off with what little money she's managed to scrape together, Camille sets her sights on larger marks and darker magic. Using forbidden powers, Camille transforms herself into a baroness and enters the court court at Versailles, where she uses her skill at cards to gamble for money. But despite her hatred and resentment of the aristocracy, the longer she stays, the more tempting the charmed life is. Who doesn't want to have it all? Well, we know better, right? Dark magic always has a cost. Yes. And when revolution erupts, Camille has to decide whose side she's on. This is a sumptuous historical fantasy featuring a slow burn romance and hot air balloons. That's Enchanté by Guida Trellis. Last book, The Spy with the Red Balloon by Katherine Locke. The Spy with the Red Balloon is a historical fantasy set during World War II, where siblings Wolf and Ilsa share a secret in their blood. The secret is magic. Because when the government finds out, girl genius Ilsa is roped into their effort to create the first atomic bomb, while her brother is sent to sabotage Hitler's own race to nuclear weaponry. But when Wolf's plane is shot down behind enemy lines, he needs Ilsa's help to stay alive. Meanwhile, there's a spy lurking in Ilsa's lab, and her letters to Wolf start looking mighty suspicious. I loved the mathematical nature of the magic in this book, as well as the sibling dynamic and the very sweet romance. But my favorite part was all the Nazi punching. Pow. That's The Spy with the Red Balloon by Katherine Locke. There you have it. 6 books to read while preparing for the revolution. Have you read any of them? Let me know in the comments below. Then give me libraries or give me death. And viva la revolution.